Illicit trade is here to stay, but government and society needs to focus resources on tackling the most disruptive, dangerous and destabilizing elements. This is the message from one of the most renowned authors on the subject, Dr. Naim, in his book called Illicit: How Smugglers, Traffickers and Copycats are Hijacking the Global Economy. In this Cross-Border Research Association video, we will present 9 tenets on illicit trade derived from Dr. Naim's book. Tenet 1. Illicit trade takes a broad variety of forms, being driven by high profits, not low morals. Illicit trade includes illegal drugs, endangered species, human chattel for sex slavery and sweatshops, human cadavers and live organs for transplant, machine guns and rocket launchers, to name just a few. Illicit traders move in and out of product lines as economic incentives dictate and practical considerations permit. Illicit trafficking is an economic phenomenon, not a moral one. Tenet 2. Illicit trade breaks the rules, sometimes with the help of the public sector, and is not always disruptive to legitimate business. Illicit trade breaks the rules and all the procedures that nations employ to organize commerce, protect their citizens, raise revenues, and enforce moral codes. Part of illicit trade is highly disruptive to legitimate business, and part is not. For example, the gray area between legal and illegal transactions, which the illicit traders have turned to a great advantage. In many cases, public sector actors supply the illicit traders with false documents, inflated billing statements, precious goods for sale on the world market, armed protection, and the well-timed governmental distraction that allows illicit trade to be successfully completed. Tenet 3. Illicit traders mimic licit trade and logistics actors, while simultaneously collaborating with many of them. Instead of distinguishing between traffickers, smugglers, pirates, coyotes and the like, one should assess illicit traders in their true roles: investors, bankers, entrepreneurs, brokers, transporters, warehouse keepers, wholesalers, logistics managers, distributors, and more. One should also recognize the vital links between illicit traders and licit bankers, airlines, shipping companies, freight forwarders, truckers, courier companies, jewelers, art galleries, doctors, lawyers, pharmaceutical and chemical manufacturers, international money transmitting companies, and a myriad of others that provide the infrastructure that enables illicit trading to operate swiftly, efficiently, and stealthily. Tenet 4. Organized crime behind illicit trade is becoming less organized and less tied to states and nations. The new environment gives an advantage to organizations capable of responding and adapting rapidly to new opportunities and able to constantly shift locations, tactics, and ways and means to make the most money possible. As a result, organized crime itself is changing, becoming less organized in the traditional sense of command and control structures and more decentralized, thus shifting beyond the typical mafioso comfort zones. Also, instead of searching for the state behind, one should seek the network when attempting to explain and eventually anticipate and prevent troubling world developments. Tenet 5. Major forces are transforming illicit markets. Lessons applied from business school courses. Major industrial upheaval occurs when new revolutionary products are introduced, when new technologies drastically change the way a product is manufactured or delivered to clients, when consumers' preferences change, or when there is a surge in new customers, often as a result of new geographical markets. The equilibrium is also lost when new competitors challenge traditional ones, when governments change the rules of the game, or when long-standing, often tacit agreements and pacts among dominant firms are broken. All these forces are transforming the illicit markets. Tenet 6. Illicit trade is no longer about crime rates, it's about global instability. Illicit trade is not merely a law enforcement problem that has been with us since time immemorial. It is that, but also a new threat that, thanks to technologies, new economics and new politics, has acquired the ability to change the world. We need more clarity about who the main players are, what drives them, the political and social consequences, and what it means that governments have failed to contain them despite all their massive efforts and expenses in doing so. Tenet 7. State-of-the-art technologies can help, but no silver bullets exist. Promising technologies to fight against illicit trade and to enhance security in global supply chains include RFIDs, package and product tags, biometrics, detection and security devices, surveillance and eavesdropping, computer models and data mining tools, human trafficking with GPS, and biotechnology, among others. But, as we know from so many other areas of human activity, technology may be a necessary condition for progress, but it is never sufficient. Indeed, believing that technology alone can save the day in the fight against illicit trade can be a fatal mistake. Tenet 8. Governments need goals they can achieve, and they can't do it alone. Defragmenting of governments is required. Bring together scattered resources to be more effective. Produce better coordinated efforts between the various agencies. Some of the illicit trades need to become licit. Resources now wasted enforcing the prohibition of marijuana or counterfeits or temporary illegal workers should be deployed in the fight against more dangerous illicit trades. Fight a global problem with a global solution. New ways to make international cooperation between governments against illicit trade are required. And lastly, political will to improve the situation needs to be increased, and everyone in the society needs to become involved. Tenet 9. The world ahead, the challenge and the opportunity. For now, the trend is towards more illicit trade. More trafficking, more black holes, more conflict and confusion, and borders that remain porous despite governments' attempts to seal them. Only an attack on what makes illicit trade profitable stands a chance of containing its rise. Only fresh ideas that take into account the profound changes that globalization has wrought on states, governments, politics, and the conduct of civic life can help us understand where we are. As Adam Smith wrote in 1776, "Not many people are scrupulous about smuggling when, without perjury, they can find a safe and easy opportunity of doing so. To pretend to have any scruple about buying smuggled goods would in most countries be regarded as one of those pedantic pieces of hypocrisy. To find a way to make the world better without evading or glossing over this true statement is both our challenge and our opportunity." Thank you for watching this CBRA animation. We welcome you to send us your viewpoint on this topic or any other CBRA material to our email address, cbra@cross-border.org.